A Ticket to Ride, Chapter 4. Benjamin looked up at the schedule. He then looked towards the clock. He let out a sigh. He wouldn't be catching that train tonight, it seemed. The wait would make the night drag on even longer than normal. He hated the waiting game. He hated to wait at school for grades or for the bathroom pass. He hated to wait until after all the games were played to open his birthday presents. He hated to have to wait for everyone to be awake on dark falling morning to open those gifts. He hated waiting until after supper to have a delicious dessert. Then again, what child his age did have all that patience? "Do you have any talent?" Stuart suddenly asked. He still hadn't bothered to turn around, and still presented his back to the boy as he worked on some chore or other, before greeting a large cat when it hopped onto the counters. It was primarily white with orange patches. It purred and rubbed fondly against the station master's hand. Benjamin, however, was confused. He didn't see any openings for the cat to venture in. He hadn't seen the cat around. Where did he come from? I don't mind him, Stuart said, somehow able to feel the boy's confusion. Pedro is the station mouser. He appears and disappears from one moment to the next. Benjamin took another good look at Pedro. The cat seemed to glare back at him. It looked like an evil stare with those half-lidded green eyes, though that purr made him sound content. He wasn't sure what it was about cats, but they just didn't feel right. There was something about them that just felt off. Dogs were better, definitely. So, this pulled the boy from his thoughts and paranoia about the cat. Huh? Talent, Stuart repeated. Do you have any? I assume if you're going to join the circus, you have something quite unique to offer the big top. A talent? He hadn't really thought about that, had he? He racked his brain, trying to remember the different acts he had seen and read about. He was a clever kid, right? There had to be something that he could do or want to do. I can. Can you fly on the trapeze? He asked. Uh, no. Can you walk the tightrope? No. How about tame a lion? Maybe some death defying acrobatics. Benjamin felt himself growing hot and red in the cheeks. I can't do any of that, actually. Then what good are you? Stuart chuckled. Maybe I could be a clown or something. That seems easy. Oh. Do you plan to balance on a ball? Do you know many magic tricks? Do you know all the ins and outs of clowning? Maybe I can learn on the job, he suggested. Better place to learn, right? Perhaps. You're amusing. At least you have that in your favor. However, if that doesn't pan out, every circus needs a stable boy to clean up after the animals. I'm not shoveling poop, Benjamin spat. Well, if it pays, it pays, Stuart replied with a shrug of his shoulder. You'll get to Oscoin a lot faster if you're paid. Then you can play with them condors. Condors! Benjamin gasped as he dramatically slapped his hand into his chest and stared wide-eyed at the station master's back. Is that not it? He asked, as he began to sort through the boxes on the shelves beneath the blackboard. Moas! How can you mix them up? Not much for sports, he replied. Do you even know what an Moa is? Do you know where they even come from? This line of questioning caught the boy a bit off guard. He was in the frame of mind of baseball. That was his favorite team. Stuart seemed to avoid any talk of sports for more than a fraction of the moment. The man knew nothing of baseball or his team, and yet it was Benjamin that looked speechless and foolish. I know that an Moa is a bird of some sort. A big bird. It's red. That's really all I know. I never really thought much about it. Stuart shuffled as he pulled his pocket watch from his waistcoat and gave it a quick glance before replacing it. He was quick to return to whatever he had started doing. Benjamin wasn't really sure what that was. He couldn't quite see too far over the counter. You can find Moas in the wild, in hot habitats throughout Moradiga, and in northern Amaga. There are a few other areas too. It has many cousin species, different sizes and colors to fit the different environments. For instance, there is a cousin species found only on Noporo called Rattler's dwarf moa. It can sound like a rattlesnake. Then there's the jade moa in. Are you some kind of bird freak or something? Benjamin spat. Why are you even telling me this? Stuart paused for only a minute. He considered and ignored the boy's outburst. They are very strong and fierce. Aiden moas, I mean. They are the largest species of Embrian moas still alive today. They traded wings made for flight for massive beaks and solid legs. Some people have even tried to ride them. They are quite beautiful and intimidating. Aiden moas and Vulcan moas are said to have been used as steeds in battles long ago. In other words, Aiden moas don't actually live in Oscawind, the boy said dryly. Correct. They are very loyal and family oriented, too, he added. They pair for life. Did you know that? No. There was an awkward silence after that. The clock sure seemed loud again all of a sudden. With no noise to drown it out, the ticking seemed like pounding. So, Hollandale? The train arrives around 6:30, Stuart explained. That's quite a long wait, especially for a small boy like you. How do you know? Benjamin grumbled mentally. It wasn't like Stuart had even bothered to peek at him. Are you sure you want to stick around? I don't mind, he assured. Question is, can you afford to take it? That's what I was trying to ask you from the beginning, Benjamin huffed. What sort of money do you have? He reached for the pickle jar and gave it a little shake. I've got $45. $45? He repeated. He let out an impressed whistle. That's quite a bit of money for a young boy like you, isn't it? You must have been planning this little adventure of yours for a really long time. Even though he knew he wouldn't see, he gave an absent nod as he looked sadly at the pickle jar. While he hadn't planned to run away, he had been saving that money up for a really long time. It was rather sad to watch it all go away. Just like that, in the blink of an eye. So, do I have enough for a ticket to Hollandale? Yes. Will you sell me one? I suppose I can, if you're sure that is what you want. Benjamin waited for Stuart to finally face him. However, despite telling him that he would sell him a ticket, he didn't turn around to follow through. You're stalling. Stuart couldn't help but laugh. This confused Benjamin a little. What was so funny about that? You consider it stalling? Your train doesn't arrive until 6:30. There's plenty of time for you to get your ticket. Besides, it's amusing to watch you carry around that pickle jar. Benjamin let out a gasp. How did you know it was a pickle jar? Stuart hadn't even looked at it. How did he know? There are a lot of things I know, Benjamin, Stuart replied simply. I have been around for a long time. I've seen and heard things that you wouldn't even believe. Sometimes even I don't believe it. But your pickle jar is the least amazing of them. Yeah, but how are you watching me? He accused. You haven't even looked at me yet. Do you have eyes in the back of your head or something? To that, Stuart simply laughed. It was pretty clear that he was not going to explain whatever talent he had. No matter. There was more pressing matters. The ticket? There's no point in me giving you a ticket for the morning train now. I've still yet to put up tomorrow's tickets for not just your train, but the others. There's much to do at night to prepare for the smooth workings of the rest of the day. Instead of going through the rigmarole of throwing off my routine needlessly, just sit tight until the train arrives. I can sell you a ticket then. You'll be the very first person. I promise.